Good evening.
Change your glasses.
That's right. I'm trying to be inconspicuous. I don't want to be noticed. Nobody to pay attention to me at all. All right. Let me get rid of this echo. Reverb.
Echo.
Okay, that's better. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Take a breath. And look at this as the time to let go of your egos ranting and raving in your minds right now. I know it is. I can feel it. I can feel it. So let's try to bring it in so we can hear it, so we can hear the truth. I want you to listen to my voice right now. Higher self, what would you have me say? Higher self, what would you have me say? Higher self, what would you have me say? Holy Spirit, what would you have me say? Holy Spirit, what would you have us say? Holy Spirit, what would you have us say? Loving right mind, what would you have us say? Loving right mind, what would you have us say? Love, what would you have us say? Love, what would you have me 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 do? Love, what would you have me do? Holy Spirit, what would you have me do? Holy Spirit, what would you have me do? Love, what would you have us do? Love, what would you have us do? Spirit, 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 what would you have me do? Spirit, what would you have me do? Holy Spirit, what would you have me do? Higher self, what would you have me do? Higher self, what would you have me do? Welcome home. Welcome home. Welcome to another Tuesday night family reunion. Welcome home. What would it be like in this moment for you to simply realize that only love is real? What would it be like in this moment for you to realize that only love is real? What would it be like to recognize in this moment that only love is real? What would it be like to recognize in this moment that only love is real? What would it be like to recognize that only love is real? What would it be like in this moment for me to simply realize that only love is real? What would it be like in this moment for me to simply realize that only love is real? What would it be like? What would it be like in this moment for us to simply realize that only love is real? What would it be like in this moment for us to simply realize that only love is real? What would it be like in this moment for us to simply realize that only love is real? What would it be like in this moment for us to simply recognize that only love is real? What would it be like in this moment for us to simply recognize that only love is real. What would it be like in this moment for us to simply realize that only love is real? What would it be like in this moment for us to simply realize that only love is real? What would it be like in this moment for us to simply realize that only love is real? What would it be like in this moment for us to simply realize that only love is real? What would it be like in this moment for me to simply realize that only love is real? Only love is real. 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 What would it be like in this moment for us to simply realize that only love is real? Only love is real. What would it be like in this moment for us to simply realize that only love is real? Let's pretend we're sane. Let's do an experiment. Let's pretend that we are totally loving beings and we're totally sane. And we're going to do the second observation exercise in the Way of Mastery, which is part 2, the Way of Transformation, page 246 in the hardcover book. Part 2, the Way of Transformation. Second observation exercise on page 246. Part 2, the Way of Transformation. This looks like all of you all just appeared. That's really weird, isn't it? Yeah, like 5 minutes to 1, it was 5 of us. And 5 minutes to 7. It's like I looked up, you jokers learning how to bilocate pretty good. Y'all got y'all psychic powers. Yeah. Okay, second observation. We wish to extend to you some simple exercises that you can put into practice. We mentioned one of these exercises already. A second exercise is this. Take 10 minutes out of each hour, set your alarm on your little watches, and for 10 minutes actually observe how you are moving in the body. For 10 minutes, observe the way you move. Except don't think about it on the dance floor. But for 10 minutes, just think about the way you move. And for example, oh, I just got off the couch and I'm proceeding to the kitchen. Why? Oh, I'm having a desire for ice cream. This desire for ice cream has arisen as a thought in the mind, and I have given that thought, the power to motivate the movement of the body. Okay, we have thoughts that arise in our minds that come from an idea of what we want. And then we give that thought the power to motivate the movement of the body. To take the action necessary now to put my hand on the handle of the refrigerator. And by the way, I would have liked to have had one of those back then. I am now opening the freezer and taking out the cold little carton made out of the body of some tree. Okay. I'm taking out the cold little carton made out of the body of some tree. In it is a substance that some other minds created out of desire. Now I'm picking up a utensil called a spoon. That was born of another mind that had a desire to make life easier. I'm dipping the spoon into the ice cream, and now I'm putting the ice cream into the body, which itself is the result of a desire. So your body is the result of your desire to have one. Your body is the result of your desire to have one. Your body is the result of your desire to have one. You are creating your experience. Your body is the result of your desire to have one. First you desired to have a body, then you were born into one. The desire to have the body came first. The desire to have the body came first. That's pretty much the truth for me. Okay, so there is no other cause but this. Okay, this is the cause of everything. You ready? The arising, the inception of a thought, a feeling, a desire, which has birthed the entire movement of a world called the body. You created the body to create an experience of eating ice cream. You can do that for 10 minutes just by observing what you actually are doing. Now, what does that mean? It does not mean, well, I'm going to work in order to pay the bills. No, you're not. You're going to work because you have held the desire to create something that seems to give you a semblance of safety. So your work is coming from your desire to create something that seems to give you a semblance of safety. Your work is coming from a desire you have to create something that you think is going to give you a semblance of safety, predictability, and survival. Wow. So your work is your desire to work, and to going to work is a result of your desire to survive. So job or career is that which is birthed out of desire. Your job or your career is birthed out of desire because of your perception of what you think you need. Your job was birthed out of a desire that was based on your perception of what you think you need. Your job is coming out of a desire which comes from a perception of what you think you need. So you are not going to the job in order to do something. You don't go to your job every day in order to do something. You're simply putting the body in the car and you're driving on your freeway. So begin to learn how to observe without embellishment. Learn how to look at things without embellishing things. In other words, learn how to observe without interpreting. Learn how to observe without explanation. Exactly what you're doing for 10 minutes, just observe it, but don't try to interpret it, and don't try to explain what you're doing, and don't try to interpret what you're doing, but just observe your body for 10 minutes. Then if you want to go back to being unconscious, by all means, do so. I love that. If you want to go back to being unconscious, by all means, do so. So if you do this, you will begin to discern something that is also going on the whole time, like an underground current or a river. For because you are reality, you are reality. So there's always the desire to extend the good, the holy, and the beautiful. Because you are reality, there's a part of you that always wants to extend something that's good, something that's holy, which means innocent, and something that's beautiful. So we're here to extend the good, the innocent, and the beautiful. That's why we're here, to extend the good, the innocent, and the beautiful. We are in this world to extend the good, the innocent, and the... Wasn't that a cowboy movie? What was that movie?
Good,
yeah, the good, bad, and the ugly.
Same rhythm.
Sound like me and my two friends from high school. I was the good.
Or the beautiful.
That's right. That's right, Bunny. That's right. So you will begin to taste that there is a depth to you that is already beyond fear. There's a part of you that's already beyond fear. There's a part of you that's already beyond fear. That means already beyond illusion. That means there's a part of you that's already resting in compassion, love, wisdom, and truth. There's a part of you that's already resting in compassion, love, wisdom, and truth. You will begin to discover that you are already having many successes upon which you can build, many successes that you can acknowledge within yourself as a way of getting the taste, the feel of surely Christ does dwell in this mind. Love does dwell in this mind. Divinity does dwell in this mind. Freedom does dwell in this mind. I once suggested to you that you remember only your loving thoughts. 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 Remember only. Remember only your loving thoughts. Remember only your loving thoughts. But the trick to that, and there's a trick to that, the trick to that is that you must first become aware of your loving thoughts before you can remember your loving thoughts. You have to become aware of your loving thoughts. I knew there was a catch. So in order for you to remember something, you have to become aware of it. So many become trapped in the depression, anxiety, and insanity of the mind. Many people become trapped in the depression, anxiety, and insanity of the mind. Why do people become trapped in the depression, anxiety, insanity of the mind? Because they put all of their energy into perceiving what is amiss. They're putting all their energy in seeing they're asking the question, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with this? What's wrong with them? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with the world? What's wrong with this? What's wrong with them? And no energy into perceiving their success as Christ. Christ is the true divine self that you were created to be as a child of God. So Christ is nothing but the extension of the love that we were created to be. That's what we are. We are love. We don't have to put love in us. We don't have to go out and get nobody to give us no love. We are love. You are love. You are love. You are lovable. You're totally lovable. So in each 10-minute practice period, learn to develop the ability to observe what you're really doing. Learn how to observe what you're really doing. When you stop at your coffee shop on the way to your job and you go in and you give some money to the person who gives you your cup of coffee and you look them in the eye and smile and say, thank you, you just succeeded. You have communicated truth. You have remembered that the person in front of you is worthy of your respect and love. And every time you recognize that the person in front of you is worthy of your respect and love, that is a success. So let's look up and see who's in front of us. Because that person in front of you is worthy of your respect. That person in front of you is worthy of your respect. Worthy of your love. Worthy. You're worthy of my respect. You're worthy of my love. You're worthy. You're worthy. I don't care what you think about yourself. You're worthy of my respect, and you're worthy of my love. And that is a success. Any questions, any comments about what we talked about, or anything you've heard so far?
Well, Earl,
Mm-hmm.
I noticed you skipped by observing what you were actually doing. You will discover that you're actually succeeding at that far more often than you give yourself credit for.
Good. Good. Thank you very much. I'm totally, whenever somebody correct me and it makes me even better, that's all right. Right?
Well, yeah, no, because I just noticed that you missed that.
No, I'm totally cool. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not opposing nothing about that. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Anybody else have any thoughts about anything that I said so far?
But notice how you brought it around. The first sentence you brought it around. Notice how you tied it in.
You didn't need it.
I think you missed it on purpose, so you knew that would be tied in.
Yeah, I'm doing things
Yeah.
like even when I don't know what I'm doing, you know.
That's a good plan.
That's a good plan.
That's an excellent.
That's a good plan. I can be totally
that's an
unconscious and doing
excellent
the right thing. That's the plan that I want. I'm looking at a bunch of people that's worthy of my respect and love right now.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a bunch of people that, what's up, bro? What's going on now? You worthy of my respect and love, man. Yeah, absolutely. That's a success. You all on a level of consciousness that you all attracted people this cool into your lives right now, right here. Think about that. People in this room are juicy, they're cute, they're beautiful, they're trying to wake up. I mean, that's cool. I just hope y'all don't find me out. Okay, I'll go on. Now I'm gonna read this a certain way, if you notice, doing some emphasis on certain words and remembering, and how when he shares this, he's sharing it by explaining everything that he's saying as he says it. So you don't really have to figure any of this out. He's actually telling you what he means as he says it. Let me show you. He says, each time you can interrupt the momentum of the mind. You got to interrupt the momentum of your mind for doing what? Perceiving nothing but problems. There's a part of your mind that doesn't do anything but perceive problems. Are you familiar with that part?
Yes.
Okay, we got to interrupt that momentum. There's a part of us that has a momentum for always looking for what's wrong and for looking for problems. And you will begin to discover that the underground river of the mind of Christ, which is the mind of your true self, is yet within you still, as you feel your successes more and more deeply. So that means what? Every time we see the people in front of us as being worthy of respect and our love, the more you do that, you're feeling your successes more and more deeply, which means in turn, it's going to build your desire to live like that, to live in that stream. The more that I see things that are worthy of respect and love, I'm going to want to live in a reality that that's all I see is what's worthy of my respect and my love. So the more you see it that way, the more you want to stay that way. Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah. Then it says, and moment by moment, day by day, what will you do? You will cultivate the power. What kind of power? The power that's necessary to be identified with only that mind. What mind? The mind that wants to only have successes more and more deeply and desires to live in that stream of respect and love all the time. You're going to become identified with the mind that only wants you to be happy all the time. You're going to become identified with the part of your mind that only wants happiness for you all the time. For a while, though, it will seem like you have two thought systems. Got it? What are the two thought systems? Well, the old one that you used to be identified with, and the new one that seems to be being birthed within you right now. So for a while, we go back and forth between the old way of thinking and the new way of thinking. We go back and forth, do we not? Mm-hmm. Then it says you are really just remembering it, but you are choosing to bring the discipline necessary, the vigilance necessary to retrain the mind. It takes vigilance and diligence to retrain the mind to what? To be identified not with the realm of illusion, not with the realm of fear, not with the realm where everything comes and goes and nothing really lasts. He says you want to learn how to not identify with the realm of illusion, which is the realm of false ideas and fear. He says, but with the stream of reality that is flowing through you. And how does the reality stream flow through you? How does the reality stream flow through you? Unimpeded, unobstructed, throughout all eternity without end. So I want a stream of love that's flowing through me toward you all, that's unimpeded, unobstructed throughout all eternity and never ends. My goal is to have a stream of love and reality flowing through me to you that's unimpeded, unobstructed throughout all eternity and it never ends. I want love to come through me easily to you that never ever ends. That's my desire.
Woo! Yeah.
Yeah, and also to catch the last episode of Good Wife. Okay, now. I didn't catch it yet. Okay. All right. So, and scan it. Okay. So, how many people in here would like to have love flowing through you unimpeded, unobstructed through all eternity without end? Yeah. Okay. All right. So I need y'all suffering from love constipation. Yep. Things aren't flowing through you too well, right? Instead of taking X-Lax, you take Relax. That's all you have to do. Take a little relax. You'll be okay. That's right. That is the one gift time provides. That is all there is. You cannot use time to store up wealth in some bank account for the future. Why can't you store up a lot of money in your bank account for the future? Because the future doesn't exist. Ooh. So you're saving up money for the not yet. And that means you have no control over what will happen to your golden coins in your world. You really have no control over what's going to happen with your money at the level of the world. Time has only one purpose, the purpose that the Creator has given unto time. And that purpose is the atonement of the Son of God, which is the same as saying the purpose is the undoing of fear and guilt of the child of God. So our purpose is to let go of all fear and all guilt and everything that makes us think we're separate from each other and what we love and what will bring us joy. And everything that we are dealing with and everybody we're dealing with in our world, they are there to help us undo everything in us that needs to be released in order to have that love flow unimpeded through us to everyone. So everybody in your life right now was sent to you to help you remove anything that keeps the stream of reality from flowing through you unimpeded, unobstructed throughout all eternity without end. That's what happens when you go out on a date. I was looking at you from across the room, and I just want you to know there's a stream of love that I would just really like to come through me for you that's unimpeded, unobstructed through all eternity and without end. Want a drink? Try that and see what happens. Either they're going to say, sit down, they're going to call the guards to come over, the bouncers to get you. They're going to do one or the other. There won't be no doubt about that. It'll be a bouncer or they'll be glad to have you come in. But would you like to meet somebody that the only purpose that they had was to allow the stream of reality to flow through them unimpeded, unobstructed throughout all eternity and without end? Now, I know all of this sounds very lofty, and I know the mind says, yeah, well, yeah, of course, I understand that perfectly well. Thank you. Good day. And then that very mind goes right back to its same old patterns, right? So, oh, I really want to have the stream of reality going through me unimpeded, unobstructed for eternity. And you think about it, and we talk about it for an hour, we hang out with each other, and then guess what? The very mind goes right back to its same old patterns. Having heard, the mind hasn't heard. Having tasted, you haven't swallowed. So all of us have a mouthful of truth we haven't swallowed. All this studying, all this reading, it's like constantly chewing and taking stuff into your mouth and never swallowing. It's time to swallow. Okay. All right. Okay, any thoughts? Any thoughts about swallowing? Unimpeded, unobstructed for an eternity.
Can I just repeat a line that is
Please.
save your ass right now? How amazing is you can interrupt the momentum of the mind for perceiving nothing but problems.
That's right. That's what this is
You
for.
can, and just like shining a big light on that, you know, this is what we just were accepting as well. Isn't this life? And this is kind of, we all struggle, and he's saying that we have the power.
Keep talking. I gotta get something.
So how many people like that?
Yeah.
Like that?
Interrupt
What else,
it.
Cheryl? What line do you like in here?
Interrupt it.
Interrupt it.
What you just said.
The stream. I like the thing too that you have no control over what will happen to your golden coins in this world. Yet this is what everybody's after, right? Filling that bank account up, and it's so insane when you just think of it
And then think
as
about-
it is.
And then think about why he said it wouldn't work. He wasn't a judgment. He just said there's no future. that future means not yet.
Yeah, and if it's changeable, right? If I can lose something at any time, then it's not mine. And how ridiculous that here we are in this world, and so many of us are just focused on filling up the bank account.
And doing such a lousy job.
Yeah.
You think anything you put that much attention on, you have some by now, don't you? Just think about how much people think of money. You think they'd have some. Think about that for a minute. Think about the thing that people think about the most that they think they have the least. But that's actually the thing they think they're thinking about the most, whether it's relationship, money. Why is it that it looks like the thing you're most focusing on can be the thing that looks like it eludes you the most? It's because you think your happiness comes from it. And as long as you think your happiness comes from it, why would the universe give it to you? Because you still think even more your happiness comes from it. So we're being forced to go within and look within, and then you can have it. You know what I'm saying? Say I'm the one that's supplying you with something, right? I'm giving you the food that you're eating, but you think it's somebody else that's doing it, it's something outside yourself. And so you're constantly praying for that thing outside yourself. I'm the one that's giving it to you. Why would I give it to you? it would just make you think even more it was outside yourself. It's going to come from your frustration from looking outside yourself that causes you to start looking inside yourself where the answer is located. That's going to make the change. That's why the thing you attach to outside yourself eludes you, because it's not what would really make you happy. So therefore, why would the universe or spirit give you something that would lead you further astray, which is to make you think that the happiness or whatever you're looking for is outside you? That's why you want to give all glory to Source. Because if you give all glory to Source, then you're actually focusing on what will always be with you, and that will allow you to always be taken care of, because Source will always be with you, but I might not. Nobody in this room may not. But Source always will. You know, it's just waiting for you to turn inward and realize that there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken.
No, sis.
You're not broken. You're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. You bought a bill of goods. It's not true. There's nothing wrong with you. We just learned some insane lessons, some insane things. We have sane minds that learn insane things. That's all. You cool. That's all good. Anybody else?
Isn't that the tiny mad idea?
That's the tiny mad idea.
To seek something outside yourself, because if we're too, it's not that we don't want to know, we know it's there, but we're too afraid to look at it because we're ashamed. There's guilt and shame that goes with it. That when we look at it, we're afraid that we're going to be destroyed because of what we've done, what we perceive that we've done. So we're looking outside ourselves and constantly chasing something outside ourselves to justify our decision with the tiny mad idea.
Yeah, first we decide how we're going to feel, and then we see everything in a way that backs that up. First we decide to be happy, and then we become happy. And then, you know, so the decision comes first. The commitment comes first. So what we're going to do now is we're going to seize the opportunity to discipline the mind. Yes.
Would that be the same as looking outside of yourself for something that you already have, but the very thing that you're chasing after is going to flee from you because you haven't realized it's already a problem?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, it's like looking at a movie screen and thinking you're going to change what you're looking at by going up to the screen instead of changing what's on the projector. So the mind is still identified with the realm of illusion. The mind is still identified with the realm of illusion. The mind is still identified with the realm of illusion until you decide to seize time. So how do you seize time? You seize time by recognizing this great gift to you, not as a punishment, not as a duty, but as an opportunity to become totally free. See, I'm seizing time and I'm using it as an opportunity to be totally free, and I call it Teaching Aware Masterclass. What I'm really doing is I'm seizing an opportunity to be totally free because I'm using this time to remember the truth that I am free. So actually, I'm seizing time right now as an opportunity to wake up to who I really am. And some people seize time to go to sleep. And it's a lot harder to avoid something if you're asleep, right? So when you sleep, you're kind of hoping you're surrounded by people that won't beat you up while you sleep, right? You're kind of hoping that when you sleep and unaware, you're surrounded by safety, you know? And that's the truth. We're asleep and we are surrounded by safety and we are surrounded by help, but we don't know it because we're asleep. So to smile within your heart because you know that you are one with God, 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 God. Decide to seize the opportunity to discipline the mind. Why do you want to seize the opportunity to discipline the mind? So that your mind can be identified with the stream of Christ's mind, which is the love mind, whispering like a quiet voice. You want to hear that quiet voice underneath the roaring din of the ego's conflicted world. Now, what is the world of the ego? The world of the ego, which is the world of fear, the world of separation. The world of the ego, which is the world of fear and the world of separation, is a world that's what? Filled with fear, doubt, and judgment. The need to be right, the need to make others wrong, and the need to believe that there is some power source outside of yourself. So if you're in the ego world, which the Course calls the false world, which the Course calls the fearful world, the unreal world, how can you tell if you're in the unreal world? You're in a world that's filled with fear, doubt, judgment, the need to be right, the need to make others wrong, and the need to believe that there's some power source outside of you. How many of you see any of that? See any fear, doubt, judgment, the need to be right, the need to make others wrong, and the need to believe that there is some power outside? Anybody in here? Okay. Okay, so that means what kind of world are we in then, according to this? The world of the ego. So so that's what it means when it says this isn't the real world. The real world is not filled with fear, doubt, judgment, the need to be right, the need to make others wrong, and the need to believe that there's some power source outside of us. So there's another world we don't see, and you don't have to die to get there. You just have to change your mind. So when you awaken, how can you tell when you awaken? Well, you realize that the truth is true always. Now, what happens when you awaken and realize that the truth is true always? Well, you will not ever complain. All right. How many of y'all awake? If you're awake, you don't ever complain. You don't ever complain about a moment of your experience in which you have the power to desire different. You know why you don't complain? You don't complain because you know in any moment you can differently desire. You can have a different desire. So while I'm complaining, I could just have a different desire. For as you desire, that's what you see. You see what you desire. You perceive what you desire. You look at what you desire. So what does that mean? That means you're looking at the home you desire, the house you desire, the friends you desire, the job you desire, the world you desire. Everything in your life is what you desire. Now you know what you really desire. That's deep. Now you know what you really desire. In case you're wondering what you really desire, it's what you see. That's the car you desire. That's the clothes you desire. That's the body you desire. That's the relationship you desire. Everything you're looking at, according to this, is what you perceive, is what you desire. And as you perceive, that's what you're going to experience. You're going to experience what you perceive. So everybody clear on that. Now you know what you really want, not necessarily what you think you want. You're driving the car you want. You're living where you want. You're with the person that you want to be with. Everything in your life is exactly the way you want it.
Thank you very much.
So now we know we're in the ego world because some of y'all depressed.
Yeah.
That was like the most depressing thing you could have ever heard. Time is an illusion. Okay, no, it says, no, I'm jumping ahead. Okay, the whole game is simply this. Okay, here's the game. You ready? Okay. The game is you are totally free. Okay, that's the game. The game is you are completely free, and you're completely free right here, and you're completely free right now. You're completely free here, and you're completely free now. This is the game you're playing.
Yes.
Okay, now, you can't do anything to become free. There's nothing you can do to become free. There's nothing you can do to become free. You can only remember your freedom. So we're coming together to remember our freedom because there's not anything we can do to become free because you're already free. So it's kind of like a little redundant. Okay, you're already free. Everybody in this room is free. Everybody in this room is free right now. You're truly free. That's why there's nobody more frightening than someone who's not afraid of death. Because somebody that's not afraid of death is somebody that's free. Think about that. Because if you weren't afraid of death, you'd do whatever you wanted to do. So you're already free. There's nothing you can do to become free. But you have to remember you're free by how you choose to use your mind in this moment. So how you choose to use your mind right now is the way that you remember your freedom. So I'm using my mind right now in this class to remember that I'm free. You're using your mind right now in this class to remember that you are free, and you are free. And that's why when anyone tries to limit you, that's why you resist it, unless you want to limit them. Then if you want to limit them, you let them limit you. because you give what you want to receive. You always give what you want to receive. If people who give in a hug want one, whatever you give is what you want to receive. And so I always use this as an opportunity to give what I want to receive for 90 minutes at least. I give the joy I'd like to receive. I try to give the affection I'd like to receive. I try to give the truth I'd like to. I try to treat you the way I like to be treated. But I have to already want to be treated well. See, do unto others as you would have them do unto you really isn't a cool saying if you don't love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, you want to be mistreated, so you mistreat other people, so you're giving what you want to receive. And people who attack want to be attacked. People who murder want to be murdered. People who go off on people want people to go off on them. Everybody's always giving what they want to receive. So you don't have to be a mind reader. People are always giving you what they want to receive. And you're always giving people what you want to receive. Have you ever been in a relationship with somebody and you wanted affection? What did you do? You went up and you sat by them and you hugged them and you started playing with their hair, whatever you do, you know, give them some ice cream, whatever, you know. You know what I'm saying? You know, at first when you see the person, you're excited to see them, you can't take your eyes off of them. You know how it is? And then after a while, if you're not using that relationship to wake up, you get bored, and then they walking in front of you with no clothes on. You say, get out of the way. But it was the time you just went off. What changed? What you thought you could receive from them. Judgment got in the way. The past got in the way. Experiences that you had with each other got in the way. Grievances got in the way. That's why you're not as excited about each other, because you remember the past and the present, and not realizing that they're being born brand new every instant. Now, we think time is sequential. It's not that way at all. It's simultaneous. And each instant is a clean, untarnished birth. Each instant is an opportunity to let go of the past. So no instant has to carry in it what happened in the previous one, because what happened in the previous instant is gone. So each moment never brings the past into it. We do. It's fresh. So this moment right here is this moment right here is this moment right here is fresh, and this moment right here is fresh. This moment right here is this moment right here is fresh. The only thing I'm bringing into this moment is the memories of my past, and you know it's not here because nobody knows about it until you tell them. That's how you know it's not real. You have to tell me about your past. If it was real, I just see it. So the fact that you have to tell me about your past means it must not exist. Wow. Whoa. Whoa. So it's like you carrying around a suitcase, and the suitcase is getting bigger and bigger, called the past. The problem is you're the only one that's holding on to it. So when you get into a new relationship, you're supposed to like go bloop and drop your baggage. But we don't. We bring the bag, we open it up, and then we try to put the clothes on them. Not only do I remember the past, I want you to wear my pants. So let it go, you all. You cannot not let go of what's already gone. You cannot not let go of what's already gone. Your past is gone. It's gone. It's gone. It's over. Everything you're beating yourself up about is gone. It doesn't exist except in your memory, and you tell somebody about it. So that felt good. That felt really good. You're welcome. I'll send you my bill. Hey! Spiritual bouncers, get that guy out of here. Get that guy right there. Get him out of here. Sentence him to at least 40 more years in the body. The course calls the body a prison house. You're in prison. Haven't you noticed? There's not a whole lot you can do with the body. It's like a limit. You know, and you know, all of y'all used to being unlimited. You know what it feels like to be free willing consciousness that's unlimited, that's everywhere. Come on now, stop faking like you just think you what you think you are. Stop faking. know you more than what you were taught. That's why you're anxious. That's why you're never satisfied. Dissatisfaction is part of the radar that's pulling you home. You'll never be satisfied with less than what you deserve, and that keeps you moving forward. So it's good that you're not satisfied. That means you won't settle for less than what you deserve. You won't do yourself wrong. That's why you're dissatisfied. You know you deserve more than what you're giving yourself. You know you do. You know you do. So time is an illusion. What does that mean? The things that pass by, what are the things that pass by? The phenomena of space and time are just shadows that you have interpreted in a certain way. There is no gain, there is no loss. There is nothing to fear. The world can add nothing to you, and the world can take nothing away from you. The world can add nothing to you, and the world cannot take anything away from you. Suppose you had a core belief that the world could not take anything away from you, then the world would not take anything away from you. You are merely here. Where are you at? In a temporary classroom. You're here in this temporary classroom. What is the physical world? A temporary classroom with an opportunity to do what any master in any dimension can do. For you hold the same power as I do. You hold the power to teach only love. And what you teach, you must necessarily and immediately learn. So why am I teaching this? So that I can learn it. Why are you here? So that you can learn it. So to teach means to demonstrate. So if you're a teacher, you're a demonstrator. You're not somebody that's just talking it, you're demonstrating it, or you're pointing to someone that can. See, I haven't perfected being able to love, but I can surely point to a mind that can as a teacher. So I don't have to have perfected love to be a teacher of love. I have to just be able to point to what love really is, and we all learn together how to love. Because people who love you more than you love you, it's hard for you to recognize them.
So on that topic, one of my ego's favorite things to do is tell me I'm not perfect and strive for perfectionism in everything. So like we're working on spiritual progress, not being perfect, but it seems like this truth that the book keeps speaking of is perfection. Like how do we kind of deal with that in that sense? Because I feel like my mind's just in this like mental purgatory right now. I'm just kind of like nothing is nothing. Everything's
Well, one
everything.
good thing to remember is that don't use that for a line, anybody. Whenever you are interpreting anything and it makes you feel less than whole and joyful, it means your interpretation of it is incorrect. So if I say the word perfection and it makes me feel any kind of discomfort, according to this, it means that my definition and interpretation of perfection is incorrect. So the definition of correction according to the Way of Mastery in the Course in Miracles is complete. So to be perfect means that you're complete. It means that you don't have any missing parts. It means you have everything that you need to have the kind of life that you want. That is perfection. Not that you reach some state that there's no further growth or no further expression. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm perfect. I'm complete. There are no missing parts in you. That's what it means when it says perfection. That's its definition of perfection. Doesn't that sound more doable to think that you have what you need? It's in you right now. That's perfect. You know, because think about it, our definition of perfect must not be the correct definition because it usually doesn't bring that sense of joy that it's talking about.
So then if I'm complete, then that means that I have the capability to reach the full potential, but because of what I'm choosing to think, I'm not reaching that.
That's right. We've got to interrupt the momentum of the part of our mind that we listen to all the time that's always pointing out what's missing and what's wrong. That's what he said. Meditation, spiritual practice only has one purpose: to interrupt that momentum. To interrupt the momentum of your ego, to interrupt the momentum of your regular thoughts that keep you depressed. That's what this is. Notice that when we're together doing this, for many of us, it's energizing.
Yeah.
It's inspiring. And so we temporarily interrupted the momentum of our regular way of thinking that makes us feel bad. If you're determined to feel bad, then you don't hear it. Because if you heard it, you feel better.
If I'm not happy, I know it's my ego finding the
That's right.
fault.
That's right. I'm looking to miss. I'm using my mind to focus on everything but what I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
That's all I'm doing all day. I'm looking for what's missing, right? So he says, therefore learn well to what? Observe the mind. So I want to ask you right now, what are you really desiring? What are you really desiring? Don't tell me what you think you ought to be desiring because you're trying to be spiritual. How do I know that our spiritual desires are not really what we want? Because we don't tend to act really excited about it. It's not really, it's not like you have to be a brain scientist or something, it's a brain surgeon. If I was really asking for what I really wanted, I'd be really excited about it. But if I say, I want love, I want peace, I want joy, I want to have a holy relationship, that means all of my interpretations of those things are incorrect because they're not exciting me. So the idea, whatever I think love is incorrect, whatever I think God is incorrect, whatever I think abundance and spirit and a good relationship is. Why? Because I'm not excited about it. So it means my interpretation of all those things must not be correct because I know how excited I get about the stuff I really, really want, and it's a possibility I can have it. We all know what that feels like. We all do. We know how excited we get when we asking for something we truly want and we think we can have it, and we're not low-key on the inside. So I believe a lot of people on the spiritual path are asking for what they think they ought to be asking for on the spiritual path. But not necessarily that is what they're really excited about. I'm excited about God because God can give me that car. I'm excited about this metaphysical truth because I need a date Saturday night. See, I'm seeing the truth as a means to get something that I want rather than looking at it as the thing I desire in and of itself. I want God so God can help me out with my bills. I want the truth so that I can get that trip I want. That's why I'm into the truth. What I should really want is the truth itself, because the truth itself will give me everything I want all the time without effort. Just because something is different, it doesn't mean it takes effort. Effort is what you use when you're not being yourself. Effort is what you do when you're not being yourself. It takes no effort to be yourself. And that's what everybody's waiting for. You wonder why people are not excited about you? You're not being yourself. That's why they're not excited about you. You're not being yourself. You're not having the guts to be yourself. Have the guts to be yourself. You are unique. You would excite everybody that knew you if you stopped trying to act out what the world told you should try to be doing. I'm on your side. So what are you really desiring? What are you really desiring? Not what do I wish I were desiring. What do I really desire? This is what I really desire. I tell you what I desire whatever God desires for me.
Yes.
Took me a long time to get to the point I could say that and mean it and get excited about it. Because now I believe that my Creator only wants me to have perfect happiness instead of believing that my Creator wanted me to sacrifice, to do everything I didn't want to do. Like when I was growing up and they talked about going to heaven, it sounded like the most boring place in the world to me. People sitting around playing a harp. I didn't know black folks who played no harp. They just said they sitting around and playing bass. Now they might have, might have got enthusiastic about that. But playing a harp, that ain't exactly that big deal, you know what I'm saying? So I bet you that's true for you too. Why don't we get excited about the idea of doing God's will? We don't think that is our will. We think God's will is everything but what you want. And it certainly is not fun. Right? It's like it was put to us like it was no kind of fun if you was following spirit. As a matter of fact, everything I liked to do was a sin. Now, what's the definition of a sin? Anything I liked. Because as soon as I would read the Bible, like, damn, that's another sin, you know. So I wasn't really worried about going to hell if it was such things, because I knew all my friends were going to be there. I was not going to be lonely. Heaven, I might have been hanging out by myself. Antisocial. Sound dull. You should be excited about your dream, this life that you're having right now. The universe wants you to be happy. Do you? Right? So he says, remember that everything is a neutral event. Everything that's ever happened to you is a neutral event. What does that mean? It means everything that's ever happened to you was just a learning experience. Everything that's ever happened to you was just a learning experience. Everything that's happening to you right now is just a learning experience. And you won't always be learning. You won't learn forever. Thank God. That never turned me on. That whole thing, well, you're going to be learning forever. Oh, hell, I don't want to learn forever. Anybody else with filming? Can anybody else in filming? I want to create. I want to express myself in ways I've never, but learning forever? Nah. And so you're at the end of learning, but you don't know it yet.
Whoa.
Separation doesn't exist. The truth is true always. Death is unreal. Death is unreal. Death is unreal. Death is unreal. I'm getting closer than ever. I'll let you know. Okay. If you don't freak out. If you don't freak out. Okay. You are pure spirit. Time is just a context. The world, the world is harmless. Sometimes this stuff's like I said, the craziest stuff you ever heard in your life. No, the world is harmless. Have they ever tried to cross Colfax? Huh? You know what I'm saying? Colfax Avenue by itself is terrifying. So you can't be a victim. You cannot 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 be a victim. You are free. You cannot be a victim. You are free. The atonement is over. The undoing of fear is over. The undoing of your guilt is over. Your ascension is completed.
Yes.
Yay.
Yes.
Woo!
Yes.
Are we excited?
Oh, yes.
Like, seriously,
Yes, we are all so excited that our ascension is completed. That we
I mean, I'm happy to hear this.
Jen, you're taking over for Paris. Thank you.
So once you get the message, what do you do? Well, once you get the message, what do you do? Just get on with it.
Yeah.
He said, just get on with it. How do you get on with it once you get it? He says, by choosing to bring the reality, the love, into the dance of shadow called this world. I'm going to bring love into this world. I'm going to be a channel for love to come into this world. I'm going to be a channel for freedom to come into this world. How can I be a channel for freedom to come into this world? By not seeing you as a victim, by respecting you, by seeing you as worthy of love, by letting you be, by not attacking you. I'm bringing love to you into this world. But if you want to control me, if you want to limit me, if you want to change me, you're not going to be interested in me. And that frees me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank everybody who would want to limit me, who feel like they couldn't limit me because I'm not limited to them and I wouldn't allow myself to be limited, so you're not interested in me because you need to control and limit people for you to be happy. So you decided not to be interested in me. You just expressed love to me.
Rejection.
So rejection was protection and redirection. So I love the fact that people who feel like I can't meet their agenda have no interest in me. That somebody who would be trying to control me, not there. So that's wonderful. That's beautiful. That's easy. That's easy. Woo! So what good does it do to pray for freedom in the future? What good does it do to pray for freedom in the future? Because it is everything to live in freedom right now. I'm not hoping for you all's happiness in the future. You deserve better than happiness in the future because you're asking for a happiness that'll never arrive. I want to be happy, not yet. I want to have a relationship in the not yet future, not yet. I want to be rich in the not yet. I want to have friends in the Not yet. That's what you say every time you say future. I'm going to really get this into not yet. So when you're planning for the future, you're planning for the not yet. So it would make sense to go, I am willing to recognize what I already have right now. Because when you ask for what you already have, then you have an instantaneous manifestation. I'd like to have a pair of white hard glasses. Wow! Instant manifestation. I asked for what I already have. I already have love, I already have freedom, I already have innocence, I already have God, I already have safety, I already have the truth. I want what I already have. I want the people that already love me, not the ones that are trying to decide. I'm looking for total yeses, by the way.
Yes.
I'm not looking for maybes and no's. I'm looking for, I'm total yes to you, Raj. Because now we can love each other now. I don't have to do something for your love. Your love is here. My love is here. We can experience it now. And that doesn't entail me trying to get you to do anything that you don't want to do. It entails me doing with you what you want to do with me and what we both want to do with each other in total peace. And nothing more or less than that. What could you do with me in total and complete peace and guiltlessness, where you wouldn't condemn yourself, condemn me, feel bad later? Let's do that. That's what I want to do with you. Because there's no need that I can have that won't be met by somebody that wants to meet it, because that's the way the universe operates. So just because I don't get it from you don't mean I'm not going to get it. Specialists don't like to hear that, nothing like that. You know. No, you're not the only one that's capable of showing me affection and love and friendship and loyalty and all that stuff. So that's okay. You don't have to do it. But what would you like to do? And what would I like to do? What could we both like to do together in total peace? Let's do that. But the only thing I can do with you with peace is go to the movie. Well, let's go to the movie. And that's all we're going to do. Just go to the movie. But no, that's not the way it works. See, I went to the movie, I had a good time with you, so now I think you must be the one supposed to be my mate. Now you got all this other stuff that don't necessarily please me, but we're going to work on that. I'm going to take you to Earl's class. You have a good time with somebody, and then all of a sudden the part of the mind says, this is the one. Have you ever had that happen? You just did a few cool things together, and all of a sudden, well, this is going to be the one that take care of everything. No, if you can get along with everybody if you don't want nothing from them.
That's true.
Yeah, you wouldn't have no problem with anybody. It's your agenda that's making you have problems. That's all. But you don't have to give up what you want. The universe knows exactly where it is, where it's located, how it can be used for your awakening, who can give it to you. The universe knows that. Spirit knows that. You don't know that, but Spirit does. That's great. That's great. I just need to stop deciding who should be the one to give it to me. That's what I'm working on. Mm-hmm. That's what the problem is me choosing who it should be. And the part of me that doesn't love me is going to always choose the person that don't want to give it to me. That's guaranteed. Then you had a yearning. I wish I could. You know something? If you're an ego, then that means you get off on what you can't have, right? So why not enjoy not being able to get it, but you want it? And then you feel that yearning and that excitement of wanting it. Because you know when you get it and you're ego, you're not going to appreciate it. You know you're not. If you don't love yourself, as soon as you get the thing that you think you want, you become bored with it, uninterested with it, and not turned on by it. We know that's true. We know the most exciting part was wanting it. And since most of the things you want, you never can have, you should be excited all the time. You ought to be the most turned on person in the room. Those of us who think we're lacking what we want, we're in a constant state of excitement. Oh, I wish I had that money. Oh, I wish I had that car. Oh, I wish I had that partner. Oh, I wish I had that job. Oh, I want that job so bad. You got the job. 3 weeks later, God, I hate this job. We do it, right? Be honest with yourself. You know we do that. We get stuff, and as soon as we get it, we want something else. So it really was the thrill of the chase that was turning us on. So get turned on by it. Enjoy it. Because pretty soon, I regret to inform you, you're going to start asking for stuff and then it's going to show up.
Record time.
It's not already.
Yeah, but we don't see it. It's already, everything we want is already available to us, but we just don't see it.
So what's gonna change?
Our mind, our perception of it, our realization, like you said, remembering, like you just said a couple of paragraphs back, remembering by staying aware of what you need to remember. You know, remember to keep the most important thing, right? So it says, once you get the message, get on it by choosing to bring the reality into the dance of shadow called this world. For what good does it do to pray for freedom in the future? It's everything to abide in freedom when. Now, when you read and talk in questions, you'll hook your mind and your ego won't go unconscious as fast. Like, one last thing about desire. What is the one last thing about desire? The one last thing about desire. What is the one last thing about desire? The egoic mind is made up of attraction, aversion, judgment, either acceptance or aversion, or hatred even. For example, this is right, that is wrong, this is good, that is bad. So be willing to embrace and accept the results of what you have desired. Okay, so what do? We complain about what we have received, which is what we have desired, and we're being told to accept the results of what you have desired. So when you dip your spoon into your ice cream, enjoy it. Stop giving yourself physical experiences that you refuse to let yourself enjoy. Stop giving yourself physical experiences and judging yourself for it. Stop not enjoying your physical life. Embrace it as the effects of your desire. Oh, I wanted this juicy black body, Lord. I'm so glad you. Enjoy that body. It'll live longer. It'll be younger. But the world tells you better not love the body. Better not love the body. That's not being spiritual if you love the body. How can it hurt your body to love it? I don't know about you, but I take care of things I love. It's automatic. You know, you take care of what you love. You don't take care of what you don't love. So if you don't love your body, you don't take care of your body. If you don't love the person you're with, you're not concerned about being something that's helpful and protective to them. So it says, why, for example, he says, he's embrace it as the effects of your desire. When you buy an automobile that breaks down, train yourself to embrace that the car broke down, enjoy that the car broke down, just like you enjoyed the ice cream. Especially if you got AAA.
Yeah.
Oh, my car's broke down. All right, let me embrace it. Let me accept it. Let me enjoy it. Why? For a very simple reason. If the egoic mind judges things as right or wrong, if you judge the ice cream as good, but the breaking down of the car as bad, what mind holds power over you? Are you free in that moment? Instead, embrace it and enjoy it. Go, oh, my car just broke down. Bam, there's a beautiful sunset. Oh, my credit score is 200. Wow, that's an awesome movie. You don't need credit to be taken care of. I'm living proof of that. I got a really good credit rating. I don't even know how it happened. It's a miracle. I don't know why. I don't know. I looked at my credit score. It's like, is that me? What? Yeah, because it's really God that's taking care of you. As soon as those artificial things are gone, and you see that you'll still be taken care of, that's when you get your true faith. So sometimes what people call financial collapses, that's actually when they get more faith in spirit than any other time, because they see themselves being taken care of and they're not doing it the way the system says you have to do it in order to be taken care of. And some of y'all are going through that lesson right now. right? He says, I think I might as well sit here and let what? The stars come out. I thought I really wasn't going anywhere anyway. And basically your car broke down, but if you be honest, you really wasn't going nowhere. Anyway, it really was probably getting ready to get in some trouble anyway. Your car broke down, you know? That's funny, see, I really wasn't going anywhere anyway. I really wasn't getting ready to do anything really valuable when my car broke down. Mind is everything. If you truly desire more than believing in Christ, believing in the truth that you are, if you desire more than believing in it, you must do what? Assume responsibility. For what? Transforming the mind. How do you transform the mind? By using your very ordinary moments in which to see differently. So how do you transform your mind? We're using these ordinary moments, we're using this ordinary moment to try to see things differently together. So we are transforming our minds right now because we're using this time to see things differently. That's the transformation of the mind. So as you reshape how you use the mind in every moment, reshape how you're using the mind, you will come to taste profound freedom. A freedom that will carry you instantly far beyond the things of time and space. So they will seem to be arising within you and passing away within you. Universe is rising and passing away within the holy mind of Christ, which is the innocent mind of love. You're watching things rise. See, we're going to have to be able to one day watch things come and go, rise and pass away without getting upset about it, because we finally get that that's the way it is here. Things come and go. They don't last. They're temporary, but we finally start enjoying it instead of trying to make the temporary permanent. We'll start to embrace the fact that if you're with somebody, you got to let them change because they're guaranteed to change. They're going to change. They're going to change. They're going to change. They're going to change. The form of how they express themselves is going to change. The thing that should stay the same is your purpose, to be a conduit for the good, the beautiful, and the holy. That should stay constant, but let everything else about me change. I want you to change. We won't be bored if we changed. We'd be excited about each other if we friggin' changed. We'd be excited about our life if we allowed ourselves to change. When I went through that experience of the fire, I changed. And so now I'm getting to know another me. Right? So I want you to change. But it's different from how I wanted it in the past. In the past, I wanted you to change the way I wanted you to change. Right? Now I just want you to change the way you change. The natural way for you to change. Whatever that is. But please, change. Please. Please, Earl, change. Please, class, change. You're going to change anyway. Just well go ahead and do it.
Sure.
I don't know about you, but my body doesn't look the way it did when I was 10 years old. It's changing. We changing.
Do we sometimes like reverse and then go forward, like 2 steps backward to make 4 steps
Yeah, absolutely.
forward?
Sometimes it looks like we're stepping back. Just like a runner when he gets ready to go, he springs back, then he goes forward. So sometimes what you think of as going backwards is just you getting a good spring.
That's cool. Good to know, thank you.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like I already covered this. I used to do this. What's?
I know. It trips me out how I always act like it's a big deal to be upset about something. When it's, it's like, what's new about it? This is not the first time I've been upset. I've been upset all the time about one thing or another. Why would you act like we're so shocked when we're upset about something? You've done it 1,000,000 times.
Yes.
Oh my God, I'm angry. Why am I angry? You've been angry about 9,000 times in your life. And you still go, oh my God, I'm angry. What am I going to do about my anger? Embrace it. Accept it. Embrace it. Accept it. That's what you do with your anger. You embrace it. You accept it. You don't judge it. It's your call for help. It's your call for love. You saying, love me, I'm scared, love me. It just comes in the form of me cussing you out. And anybody that can really see, they don't pay attention to the form of your call. They just focus on the fact that it's a call for love, not the way you're calling. We focus on the way. Well, I'll help you if you say, ask nice. That's what we do. If you ask nice, I'll answer your call for love. But you cuss me out, I ain't gonna see that as no call for love.
Yeah.
And the Course is saying that what loves you doesn't even consider what you're upset about. It just knows you don't deserve to be upset, and it wants to alleviate any pain that you're going through. It doesn't care what you did. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to have peace. That's love. You know, I decided to love you, so you can apologize if you want to. I'm not really worried about what it is you think you did. You know, it's like I had a situation recently where a person wanted to tell me what it was they separated from me about and everything, and what they wanted to clear it up and that kind of thing. I never got around to asking them. I didn't have any interest. The only thing that I was interested in was that they were ready to join me in peace and love. I don't give a hoot about what it was, the story that person made up in their mind that made them want to separate. I had already made up my mind that I value the relationship. So I don't care what you think you did. Because you obviously didn't hurt me, I'm okay. Right? I'm still here. So whatever you thought you did, you really didn't do it, so let's not even hash over something that never really occurred. So if you ever get mad at me and you think I've done something to you, which means you're wrong, then I'll be waiting with my arms open when you come to your senses and you're ready to embrace me again as the beautiful being that I am. In the meantime, I'm gonna party like a big dog. I'm gonna have a good time. I'm gonna hang out with the people that I enjoy while you're sorting things out. Isn't that loving? That way, when you're ready to be sane with me again, I'll be ready to be sane with you. But in the meantime, I didn't deny myself any joy, so I really don't have any agreement with you at all. So it's okay if I upset you in some way, which we're learning now that I can't do. I can't upset you. Then I'll wait until you realize you're the one that's making yourself feel the way that you're feeling about me. Okay? So don't expect me to apologize for what I didn't do. Like, you know how people make up stuff that they think you've done that you really didn't do, and then you apologize. Well, I'm so sorry if I upset you. No, I didn't upset you. That's for me to apologize for. I'm not going to convince you that I upset you when I didn't upset you. That's like me saying you're right about the misperception you're having if I'm acting guilty about something I never even did in the first place, begging your forgiveness. That's telling you you're right about thinking I did something to you. I'm not going to apologize for something I didn't do, but I'll be totally willing to join you in peace and love when you want to join me in peace and love. But I'm not going to say I did something that you made up. Right, because then I'm convincing you that you're right about your misperception. Yeah. I didn't do anything to you. I'm not going to say I'm sorry. I can say I'm sorry that you're giving yourself so much pain about something that never occurred. And I'm willing to join you in love right now. Are you willing to join with me in love right now? No? Okay. Well, then when you're ready, I'll be ready. And in the meantime, I'm going to join with the people who love me now, who see me as loving now, who enjoy me right now.
Amen.
Because I've already told you I'm willing to let it go. You're not ready to let it go. It's not my problem anymore. It's yours. Because you're waiting for me to say I'm wrong so that you can forgive me. But I didn't do anything, so I'm never going to say it. So you got to let it go if you want to be happy again. I'm not going to convince you I'm guilty when I'm not. But I used to. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, what did I do? But wait a minute. I didn't do nothing. I didn't have any desire to hurt this person in any way. There was nothing in my heart that tried to limit them in any way. They're upset at me about something they're telling themselves. No, I'm not going to join with you in that misperception of me. I knew in my heart whether or not I was trying to hurt you or not. And by the way, if you really knew me, you wouldn't even believe I would want to hurt you. You say you're my friend, yet you're giving me a malicious intent? Saying that I deliberately tried to hurt you, and you say I'm your friend, and you've been around me and I've been around you, and you think my purpose is to hurt you? Maybe there's something I do that inadvertently you take it in a way that makes you feel pain, but you still should go, well, wait a minute, would Earl actually really want to hurt me? That's the first thing you need to ask. Would he really want to hurt me? I'm getting upset like he tried to hurt me. That means I don't have the slightest idea who he is. That's what I ask myself when I think I'm building a case up around a friend. I go, would this person really want to hurt me? Is that really in line with how I've experienced this person?
You say that's why everyone walks around on, like they're walking around eggshells around everybody.
Yeah.
They can't be themselves because we're all worried that we're gonna hurt somebody else's feeling when.
Yeah, and you get to that point, you realize you can't hurt anybody's feelings, that they're always hurting their own feelings about you.
Yeah.
And so, but you look cold to them. Man, you talking about something like you a cold joker? Be a person that's not apologizing for what you didn't do. You get accused of being a very cold-hearted person. And all you're really doing is getting helping that person to take responsibility and empower themselves by seeing that they're the ones that's making themselves feel that way. And you go, you know what, I'm willing to do whatever I can to help you feel better without sacrificing. Now, what can we come up with how I can help you that wouldn't feel like a sacrifice to me? That's the solution we need to come up with. That's the one that I'm gonna help you the way I'd like to. Because then I'll be glad I did it. And it won't be a struggle. Right? You know, like I'm not good at moving stuff. So I'm not your guy if you need stuff moved. All right? I'm not that guy. I'm not the move on a Saturday guy. You know, but there are other ways that I help. And I'll be glad to help the ways that come natural for me. But we don't do that. We sacrifice. And then we resent. And then that builds up grievances. So stop doing things that you don't want to do as much as you can. Sometimes the guilt's going to win out. You're going to do it anyway. Because the guilt wins out. You know, and so you go, okay, I know it's my guilt. To be honest with yourself, I know I'm going over here and visit my mom out of guilt. You know, I'm going over, and admit you're doing it out of guilt, and then set the goal to never do things out of guilt and begin to move toward that. But we won't give when we think we're sacrificing. We'll give to each other when we believe it's something we want to give. And we give in the way that we give. I'm like with you. I'm giving to you the way I give. This is the way I give. It's not for everybody. But this is the way I give. I'm not going to change the way I am to give the way you want me to give. Because it'll be a sacrifice to me. And I'll be giving you hatred and resentment. I won't be giving you any love. Yeah, Chris.
So everything that you're saying, like that the other person, I can't hurt another person, does that include even like when I'm coming from a place of ego and I do something, I say something, or I do something to another person that's coming from ego?
As long as you're not physically attacking them, then they're the ones that's determining how what you say is going to affect them. So therefore you can't hurt them. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're not physically attacking me, then all I'm dealing with is words coming out of your mouth. Which means I'm the one that gives those words meaning. Which means you can't hurt my feelings unless I give those words the power to hurt my feelings. So if you're not a person that's going around beating people up, then you aren't really responsible for how anybody else is feeling. That's the truth. You might not like it, but that's the truth. Because I want to feel like somebody can hurt my feelings. There's a part of me that wants to feel like somebody can hurt my feelings. So when you say stuff like that, that means that I have nobody to forgive, especially if they didn't physically attack me. I'm the one that's keeping it going. I'm the one that's giving it the meaning.
Yeah, I'm working on, in the exercise in self-honesty. So this is, and there's a question that, you're supposed to ask yourself, have I ever withdrawn love for the subtle reason of causing hurt or trying to cause hurt to another? Could you kind of explain that, how that works with what you're saying now?
Say it again.
There's a line here that says, have I ever withdrawn love for the subtle reason of causing hurt or trying to cause hurt to another?
Well, if I'm trying to cause hurt to another, of course I've withdrawn love. I mean, that's the only reason why. But I don't really believe many people, I don't really believe you all try to hurt people. I'm sorry. I don't believe you all get up in the morning and you go, I'm going to hurt people today. Now, if I'm wrong, tell me so I can avoid you. But really, I don't think you do. Do you? Honestly. No. No, you don't. That is not your purpose. You wouldn't even be in this class if you were that kind of person. This class wouldn't even appeal to you if you were that kind of person. So stop acting like you're trying to hurt people because they are reacting to you as if you hurt them because you're not doing what they want you to do. Stop acting like because you're not doing what they want you to do, even if you don't want to do it, you're hurting them. You are helping them if you don't let them control you. You're teaching them that their happiness must come from themselves and not from trying to control or manipulate others if you don't let them control and manipulate you. But if I want to control and manipulate, then I'm not going to like this because there's some people right now I'm trying to do this stuff to. So I don't like what you're saying tonight because I got a couple of scripts about two or three people I know. So this doesn't fly for people who want to control, who are right now going, I'm mad at this person right now because I think they're not doing exactly what I want them to do. Then this kind of stuff is kind of, ooh, I don't like this. I don't want to be controlled, but I sure got some people I want to control. And then they'll tell me they want me to. They'll say, this is great. I want to do what pleases you. And then you buy into it and you don't realize it's just a gift that they're giving you that they can take back anytime they want to if you're not doing what they want you to do. They snatch that gift back so fast it'll make your head spin. Oh, anything you want, I'll do it. If I'm getting what I want out of this. If I see I'm not getting what I want out of this, I'm going to stop doing it because it was a sacrifice in the first place. It wasn't really what I wanted to do anyway. That's why sometimes you see the people that you are with when you're not with them. It's like you break up, then you see who they are because they're no longer trying to do what they think is necessary to get you. So you really see what they really want to do and what they really like to do. So it's interesting when you said all this stuff, all of a sudden nobody can really hide from you anymore. You're kind of really aware of what's going on, but you don't hold a grievance and you don't get mad at them for trying to manipulate you because you did the same thing. We were taught to do it. We were taught how to do it. And that's how you forgive because fearful people manipulate and they're vicious. And that's just the way it is because they're scared. That's all. They don't think there's enough love.
So you say we don't have to put ourselves in a position to betray ourselves anymore when we really when we really say yes and we really mean no, we don't really have to do it.
Get to the point that you're only doing what you really want to do. But give yourself time to develop that ability. Because if not, you'll just make yourself feel more guilty. You know what I'm saying? So just be gentle with yourself. What I'm saying is I believe you're innately good and you're not trying to hurt anybody. And then most of the stuff that people are upset at you about, they're upset at you because you're not doing what they want you to do for their happiness. Because if they were interested in yours, they would be trying to get you to do what you didn't want to do. As soon as you said, this is not something that really appeals to me, then they would go, that's fine, because I only want you to do what makes you happy. So you'll stop being manipulated. Yes?
So one of the ways, like in a situation like that, to protect yourself is to be authentic?
As you possibly can. As you possibly can. I don't want everybody don't have to like me. Because I'll never be myself if I need everybody to like me. So I don't care if everybody don't like me. I used to care if everybody liked me, but now I understand that I'm surrounded by people I enjoy because I'm being myself, and they like who I am as myself. And the ones who don't, they're not interested, but they're no loss anyway. They would just be high maintenance. That's what I call them. High maintenance people are the people who you're never enough for, and they always need you to be different for them. High maintenance. All right, Holy Spirit, we went over. Let's give it up. Y'all did good. You did so. Come on, you can do better than that for you. You also. Cute. All right, so let's do the financial expression of appreciation, as I like to call it, and then we're going to head out into the lab. I'm going to do one little statement for us to end on. Those of you watching online, if you'd like to make a financial expression of appreciation, just go to earlpurdy.com. And I'm also available for one-on-one sessions called Clarity Sessions, where I show you how you can use this stuff in your day-to-day life, and if you're open to it, you can also I'll also do the astrology and numerology, which is just another way to receive information for those good brothers and sisters out there that like to judge astrology and numerology. You know, I know absolutely nothing about it. I love you. Okay? We're good at judging stuff we don't know nothing about, which is really weird. But you all are awesome beings. And Sunday at 1 o'clock, we're going to do the next Course in Miracles class. Do you want to believe you're hurting people? Do you?
No.
Okay. Are you beating anyone up?
No.
Are you consciously trying to say words that you feel people could use to cause themselves pain?
No.
Do you get up in the morning saying, I want to hurt someone today?
No.
Okay, then give yourself a break. You're not responsible for how other people see you. What other people think of you is none of your business. What other people think of you is none of your business. That's why I wasn't even interested in the story of why the person felt separate. It didn't matter to me because I wanted to join. If somebody wants to join with you and have peace with you, you all will have peace together, and nothing can stop it when both of you want it. But if one of you do not want it, there is nothing you can do to make that happen. So don't ever believe you're in a relationship that can't be reconciled in peace. It just means one or both of you all are not ready to get off of being right. That's all it means. Both of y'all stuck right now and you need to be right. That's all. That's all. There's no such thing as a relationship issue that can't be solved peacefully by two people who want to. No such animal. You know. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And the person could be dead and you can still forgive them. Even though they're not dead. Death is a misperception. It's not the truth. It just looks like somebody died. That's it. There's nobody looking at the body in the casket with more amazement than the person that's supposed to be dead. They're like right there looking at them. Wow. Who came to my funeral? Who didn't make it? I'm a hunt them. I'm gonna rattle a few chains in their baptism tonight. I was going if you should have been in my funeral. So take a breath, Holy Spirit, and I'm going to end this with one little statement right now. You are whole and complete and loving and powerful. You are responsible for what you see. You are responsible for what you see means you are responsible for how you see things. You are responsible for how you see things. There's not but two ways to see things. Two ways to see things. See things in a loving way or a fearful way, a peaceful way or a way of conflict. You have a teacher, an inner teacher. You can't heal yourself. You cannot heal yourself. Your inner teacher will heal you. Your inner teacher is trying to guide you. Doing what you did tonight is you showing that little bit of willingness to have your inner teacher teach you right now. Have your inner teacher teach you right now. Have your inner teacher teach you right now. Now. When do spiritual cats want it? Meow. When do spiritual cats want it? Meow. That's when we want it. We're spiritual cats. We want our happiness right meow. The present is your point of power. My present is my point of power. My present is my point of power. Your present is your point of power. Your present is your point of power. The present is the point of power. You have your power right now. I bless you. I appreciate you. You are awesome, gorgeous, sensational beings. That's what I see. Looking through the eyes of love. That's all I see. Looking around this room in the eyes of love. That's all I see. That's right. Y'all so funky. Y'all some funky folks. Cool folk. The next time you find yourself attracted to someone who's mistreating you, thank them for making you aware of how you feel about yourself, but you didn't really know it. So you can let it go now. They're just getting you in touch with there's a part of you that's not loving yourself, And if you were to admit that they were in your life, just because you weren't loving yourself, they would have served their purpose. So they will either change or they will be removed from your experience in a peaceful, loving way. Yes. I love you. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thanks for staying overlooking tonight. Awesome. Clothes are available for those who would like a good old juicy food.